Welcome everybody to Bush League Geek. We're here for another week, and we're going to talk about time travel. So,
yay, time travel!
Yeah, thank you for the enthusiasm. Thank you. So we're going to start off with, I guess, the three theories of movie time travel, or the three main theories. We'll start with that, everybody. Let's go. Fixed timeline. Everybody know fixed timeline?
Please explain.
Oh my!
Oh Lord! It's like, say you want to go back in time. Say you want to go back in time and kill Hitler to stop World War II. Why are you looking like that?
No, I'm just listening to you.
If everybody can see what he looks like, face.
Go for it. Like what? Quantum leap? Maybe. Like would that be?
I don't think quantum leap. He could go back and forth, right? Because he's like, "Hey, I'm ready to leap." And
yeah,
go
but
back
is that still fixed timeline? Because he's going back.
Yeah, that's.
I think it is fixed timeline.
Yeah.
Technically, it'll be fixed timeline because it appears that no
But
matter what he does to the timeline, it stays how it stays.
See, I also thought
he's only making
fixed,
minor changes.
I thought fixed timeline too also meant like it's one of those things like the Terminator. You travel back in time, but you're not traveling back to your original point. Like you're going to one spot and then you're doing your thing.
I feel like
you can't go back and forth.
I feel like you're confused by that.
Yeah. Well, see, I would think it's
Travel through time. Time travel. I don't know how that's confusing. You're traveling back in time, but you're not going back and forth. The Terminator never went back and forth, and
you're talking about like a one-way trip.
Yeah,
type deal, like
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Fixed timeline.
See,
was like a
and that's
trip.
something that's always bothered me in just about any time travel anything.
Yes.
Was the fact that they act like they can bounce back and forth, like there's something that can pull them back, unless. And God, I hate referencing Doctor Who, but
Why would you hate referencing Doctor Who?
Kevin's not here. Why would you hate referencing Doctor Who?
as big of a dork as I am, I feel like I'm not that big of a dork. That I am completely into Doctor Who.
Well, we just lost our Whovians.
Right.
There's two Whovians in here.
I am surrounded
Just
by
let you guys
Whovians.
know.
I mean, I even have
I can talk about it. That's about
Hey, right.
Yeah, Stacey is also wearing his hoodie.
my con shirt from last week.
It is the only show that I've ever seen that's dated the day it comes out. So, anyways.
His name is Matt Cunningham. His phone number is...
Point being, it's the only one that makes sense in the fact of it carries its time machine with it. And that in itself makes sense into why it can change time.
But the time machine...
See, something that bothers me about the time machine is that first of all, he just travels into the future. But secondly, what it does is, it basically goes into some sort of stasis.
It doesn't
and
move.
it doesn't move. It's there. That's why you see the world, age around him.
But
it doesn't actually go through time.
But we talked about that. Though. Remember how you said how the world spins and everything, and where you could be in 1 year technically is not the same place you were at.
Well,
so
that's
what I thought about
problem.
the time machine. When we were talking about this,
Right?
The time machine. Well, okay, so you push the lever forward, you slow down in 20 years, you're in the middle of a fucking wall.
Right.
And
that's the problem with most time machines is if they are stationary, what's keeping the things that are inside of it, what's keeping everything around it from either changing or not changing? Like if it goes into a stasis, what keeps somebody from going, I'm going to build a building there?
Exactly. See, that's what's always bothered me.
In the time machine, there's nothing keeping it from that. It just...
Yeah, well, that's what I hate about it, because you see everything around it going on, and it's like, does nobody just notice it there?
Apparently not.
You don't see, hey, there's this,
maybe
this thing here.
Maybe it's
I would think at some point you'd have, all these scientists come around.
Right. They'd be like, this looks like a time machine. Is there somebody in there?
There's an episode of Futurama that's the same way.
Oh, is
where
there?
They go forward and they determine... It never moves. The time machine never moves.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody can see it. And they keep going forward. And then they realize that time is cyclical. And they keep going forward to get back to where they were.
Yes.
But the time machine itself...
Like the end of Battlestar Galactica.
The time machine...
Spoiler alert.
The time machine
You're
itself
going to
never
hate
moves.
yourself when you get that far. I'm alienating everyone today. Battlestar
Who else can you piss off? That's listening. Oh, so okay. So the time machine in Doctor Who, there was something else like Lucy. Didn't she technically go back in time? Like, was Lucy considered a time travel thing?
I didn't really see that.
Like, you're confused by that.
I don't remember.
I don't see
the
Lucy as time travel.
No.
Okay, there was the part where
spoiler alert for people with Lucy, but she
forever.
goes back. Well, hey, I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
I don't.
Here's the thing: did she time travel, or could she see the continuum of time and she visualized that?
My question was it a time travel?
That's
movie?
how I saw it. She could just see everything. She was all knowing. I didn't see
Well,
it as time travel.
And I guess I'll use that to throw out my my personal theory. I guess it's not based in science in any way, time or form. I personally think that there will never be such thing as time travel. I think there will be possibly I maybe could be a thing like time viewing. So like to me, if time
like Paycheck.
Oh, that
I
was
didn't
awesome.
think about that.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you could even do that because that would. The nature of viewing something changes it.
Well, that was the whole thing of Paycheck. Like,
Well, I mean,
you don't want that power because then you actually cause what you're seeing.
Well, I don't mean
Yeah, exactly.
in the future. I don't mean you can see anything in the future because what I think is that the energy spent in the time now can one day, say it leaves its signature about like you would leave
Like tachyon particles.
right
Yeah.
about like you would leave a sound on a magnetic tape. Say that thing is viewable later, so we can go back and we can see these things that happened in the past.
Like that happened. Okay.
As they happen, but
Yeah.
that's all we can ever view because those things have happened. The energy was spent,
And it's there.
and it's there.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're able to go back and view it, but never actually interact with it. But then again, you have things like Interstellar, where they kind of do that. They build that tesseract to kind of view the past, but he can't interact with the past because nothing can transcend time other than what they say is gravity in that movie.
So what would be the purpose of seeing the past and not being able to interact with it?
To learn.
To learn things.
To know exactly what happened. Because
From a legal perspective, it would have immense implications.
No, but I see what you're talking about, like Civil War. Like, we just know what the stories were said and everything. If we go back and see it, okay, possibly makes sense.
I mean, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, that's all they did. Just go back in time for a history lesson.
that was the idea, but they kind of took people.
So I could see that because, I mean, you and I have talked about before, Matt, that the whole concept of time travel is fundamentally flawed.
It is. Extremely
There's so,
flawed.
I mean, you're right. There's so many kind of differences. Like for the fixed timeline, and I didn't even really think about this till I saw this, but 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, see, in 12 Monkeys, he's only supposed to go back and observe. And the reason
I probably
is
went to go back to change the. See, it's been so long.
He went
So
back to
long.
try to change things, but they were sending him back strictly to observe.
So that's like source code.
Oh, yeah.
Source code is fixed timeline.
That
Because he goes
That
back.
wasn't really time travel, though, because in source code...
He's going back in time to stop the bomb on the train, right?
No, not... I don't remember. I think he was just, like, observing for the most part. Like, it played out the way it played out, but he was seeing, like, what those people were seeing. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Yeah. It's kind of basically what Matt was saying, where they just view, like, the past things that already happened.
So Dave,
That's all it was. Like, he wasn't really controlling anything in that. He was just, like, seeing what happened so they could say, oh, well, that's why this,
So deja
I don't
vu
wanna
then.
spoil
Would
anything.
deja vu fall under fixed timeline?
Probably. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody else think of a fixed timeline scenario?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about fixed timeline scenario, you can talk about things like Time Cop. That was a fixed timeline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then again, they added the whole, two things can't take up the same amount of space.
What about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3?
That is a valid question, sir.
Yeah.
If we all had that staff, we could time travel as well, and possibly even be turtles.
I don't want to be.
What would be the implications of having turtles go in the past? I mean, if that could happen, maybe that's where dragons came from. It's just okay. This is
Uh-oh.
off the cusp of time travel. It doesn't really have anything to do with time travel, but you ever think about like where aliens and the ideas of aliens, dragons, all these different monsters come from? Were they based in something, or were they purely fictional?
Yeah, most
All
things.
fiction is based in fact.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's
how
what I was
much
gonna
fact?
say.
Because dragons seem to be like run rampant in medieval time stories and this and that. So where did that come from?
Yeah.
And
I always wonder if it was a dragon or just like a giant lizard.
I don't know. Well, it's just
considering the
funny.
biggest ones we've seen are like Komodo
Yeah.
dragons.
Well, I mean,
hey, if you see some,
because it's pretty
if
consistent.
you think about it, you don't have a gun and you got a sword, and you see a Komodo dragon running at you. You kind of think, hey,
Yeah, but like fire breathing.
When it comes to that, I kind of
Fine.
fall into the
I'm-
category that we have forgotten more than we know.
I'm totally stretching.
And
I'm
that's
totally
where-
reaching.
And that's where some of that comes from. I genuinely believe at some point in our ancient history we were further along as a civilization than we are now, and something happened and changed all of it. And we had to start over.
It was called the
Battlestar Galactica.
What was it that, you know what? Let's talk about time travel. We're going to switch to multiverses. Family Guy, since he brought that up. And the first verse they go to, he's like, well, what about all the Renaissance stuff and everything? Because the world was so much better because of it didn't go through the persecution of Christianity and everything and get held back. So maybe he's right. Maybe we were further along.
Let's just go ahead and say we're all going to hell because it's Sunday. And we're saying this now.
What's Sunday?
okay.
It's
another
a
day of the
theory.
week.
Right.
It's a theory. It doesn't mean that our religious beliefs are going to change.
That's actually a pretty valid theory. Could you imagine if some of the minds of that time actually made the changes that they could make now? And I say that because networking is so fast now, where if ideas like that were to come out and they were so game-changing, I'm talking like they figured out gravity, they figured out calculus. Well, that was in like
I mean,
1600s
well,
or something like that.
But no, like
you know
Da
what I'm
Vinci,
saying?
but like Da Vinci, in a sense.
Right, all of his inventions that are
Right.
just now coming to fruition, like the things that
And
they're
that are
just
still-
now building
and
and
that
going,
are-
yeah, that does work.
And that are like technically still useful.
That's
like,
a horrible example too, because they just released a bunch of documentation that he stole 90% of his ideas.
Thing is, somebody thought of it in that
Somebody.
time,
Yeah.
regardless of whoever got credit for it. And see,
Yeah.
that's the thing, networking. Somebody would see that and go, "Fuck you, that's my idea."
I don't see a copyright on it. Stolen.
Well, if you want to
Or
go,
actually, no. Nowadays, what they would do is they would change the color and make it like turn the opposite direction to get out of the whole.
Speaking of copyright, I think that's all that time travel will be used for anymore.
Yeah.
well, in talking of copyright, let's shift over just a little bit to the patent office. How much stuff did Einstein really come up with when he worked in a patent office? How many ideas did he steal?
True,
That is a good question.
but he had the mind to do something with them.
So let's go. Okay, so let's get back on topic.
No.
Children,
No.
Multiple universes.
multiple universes,
Okay, here's the problem. with
multiverses.
Here's the problem with multiverses. Is there a law between the multiverses stating that they are within the same timeline?
Are we referring to the one? Is there
A
a
Jet Li movie.
But see,
is there a police unit
The
that's like, hey,
one-
you can't go kill yourself?
Well, and,
No,
then, and
to
see,
get
that's
your
the
power?
thing. That would lead you to assume that there is someone that has control of switching between the universes and controlling the travel between them. But you got to think that if one person can time travel, eventually 2 people can time travel, 3 people can time travel, 4 people can time travel. Something's gonna happen. Somebody or switch universes. But here's the thing, though. If you can do it on the fly, say I can go to another universe, say I can go to another time. What's to keep me like? Okay, seems like I remember a Justice League episode, the animated series, where there was the time traveler, and as soon as he got to the Wild West, he got held up, and they stole his suit.
Yeah, and it changed that particular timeline.
Right. Dude
And
went nuts with the suit and started going to getting
and
future
get that
tech.
technology,
Right, and
yeah.
bringing it back to the Wild West and changing everything there. Well, anyways, something along those lines. You know, who's to say you're not going to get shot as soon as you get there? Or even worse, say you time travel into the middle of the street and get hit at 70 miles an hour.
But okay, well,
And somebody takes that suit and goes, I figured out what this does. Bam, now they're time traveling.
but here's the thing. Okay, so the concept of multiverse supports alternate timelines.
Yeah.
In an infinite number of parallel universes, traveling into the past causes a new divergent timeline from the first.
Yeah, it forms from there.
That's
Yes.
if.
So the
dependent
traveler
on-
can do anything with impunity, and only the new timeline will be affected.
Yeah, you can't go
And
back
see,
to the old timeline unless
That's
you change
my
something.
favorite theory too, because
Well, that's the only theory.
yeah, I mean, well, I'm just saying.
Well, thanks
No,
for throwing that down
Well,
there.
no, I mean these different,
Yeah, that was a
the
big
different types of time travel
Sir?
he's talking about. I'm just saying I like the separate timeline theory best because in my head you cannot go back to change something because it's already happened. Do you know?
Well, I mean, I can see that, but if you go back and change something, the future no longer exists. Your timeline diverges.
yeah, like you come back and it would
It's
be the
different.
same.
Well,
No, but it would be the same for your timeline.
What I want to know is if your timeline diverges, how did your time machine even exist?
Well, see, that's the thing. You can't.
Yeah.
It seems to me like all time travel should be a one-way trip.
And see
That makes
that's
it seem
another
like
thing.
the Terminator and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That makes more sense. Is like you can go.
Exactly, and isn't that the purpose of the movie The Time Machine? Like he builds a time machine to go back in time to save his fiance from getting killed. But it's like if he goes back in time and stops her from getting killed on the same timeline, then what purpose did he have to even
build
make
a time
the time
machine.
machine in the first place?
Right.
Like it's just a paradox thing.
Like in Big Bang Theory,
That was more-
in Big Bang Theory when they do the roommate agreement, it's like a section B. If either one of us invents time travel, we'll show back at this time exactly 12 seconds later, and they both stop and look. Like what didn't happen, and they go on about their business.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
I mean, the only exception to that, like you referenced earlier, would be Doctor Who. That would be the only logical exception to that.
So I don't see how Doctor Who isn't like a. It's almost like a. It's like
You
a
mean-
combination of all of them, right?
You're not sure why it's not better?
I'm not.
Obviously, it's doing
I'm
something.
not jumping in that boat with you, bro.
Level's here. All right.
Obviously, it's doing something right. It's the longest running sci-fi anything ever.
I
So
think
angry.
you just pissed off our producer.
No, not really.
You were wearing a Doctor Who shirt.
I wore a Doctor Who shirt on purpose, not because I knew time travel, but I was going
Why
to
did you
piss
go find a
Kevin off,
time
and
travel
he's
shirt?
not here. I was even going to make TARDIS ice cubes to bring to piss him off today, and he's not here.
We do need Kevin just to be angry.
Just to be
Can
our
we call
angry
Kevin
guy.
the angry
Just
gamer?
an angry guy.
I mean, I was going to bring Hansel and Carbonite ice cubes to make up for it, but
I feel like if we called Kevin the angry gamer, that would work for games and women. Sorry, Kevin, you're not here. You're here with us in spirit.
So, like, the butterfly effect. Time travel, right?
well, the movie or the actual effect?
Well, let's go with the movie.
Because that's what we've been talking about is the butterfly effect.
Yeah,
Essentially,
basically.
you change something in it.
But in the movie, was the movie technically time travel movie? If you were to say time travel movies, you should watch these.
Yeah.
What are you considering a time travel movie?
That was a time travel movie, but the thing with him was basically he sent his consciousness back. Kind of like in Days of Future Past. It's like he doesn't physically travel back, but he goes back to that point in time where he was, and he can actually witness everything and make different decisions.
Witness me.
Witness me!
Well,
But
see,
that one bothers me too.
the problem with that is also
Yeah.
Which
if
one?
you have changed your consciousness in the past, you have then destroyed the need to go back.
Exactly. There's no motivation. Like
You're in
doesn't
a
make
you're in
any
a
sense.
loop where the two can't coexist.
Yeah.
So are you saying time travel is not possible?
I'm saying time travel is
Are you about to
irrelevant.
crush my dreams right now?
Incredible.
Is
Based
it-
off the
and I'm
way-
not talking about when we get it. It's irrelevant. I know that joke, but I'm saying time travel is
No, because
irrelevant.
he got me with that fucking joke.
I
was
said that today.
He was
When
like,
do we want it?
Yeah,
Now.
I go, we want time travel. When do we want it? He goes,
Never.
now. And I go, it's irrelevant. Like, and he's like, He did.
I did not do the
It
Sheldon
was like
laugh.
delayed for a second. Like,
I didn't do the Sheldon laugh.
I'll be the one to burst your bubble. Time travel is not possible.
Thanks.
Never will be possible.
Tell me about Santa Claus next.
Well, and the
Well,
problem with time travel
Simon
being
Pegg was
possible is if it were possible, it may only be possible once, and we'll never know about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
yeah.
Because you'll have broken it the first time you used it.
So you said, okay, so like going back to movies that are time travel, that we'll say that are questionable, like Paycheck.
I forgot all about Paycheck.
Is Paycheck technically? He creates the machine that can see into the future, but he doesn't necessarily time travel through the whole thing. So
It's been a long time since.
Well,
I've seen
there's
Paycheck.
something to talk about. If not time travel was possible, but viewing time was possible, whether it be past or future, would seeing your future then determine your future, or would it deter the future?
I think the concept in that, because I know I keep referencing Paycheck, but I mean in that movie they had a really good concept that if you see it, you're gonna do what you can to prevent it, but what you do to prevent it actually ends up making it happen.
Yeah, the knowledge of it
Because I think it
causes
was
you to make it happen.
I think what they saw in the future was like World War III breaking down. So of course they went into martial law and everything, pissed everybody off, and World War III ended up happening anyway because of the steps they took to try to prevent it.
Yeah, but then you got to think about things like Groundhog Day. You've already seen what's going to happen all day. Or
You know what? That's a good thing because he uses that. He robs the money truck. You know?
right, but
that
was not part of something he was supposed to do.
He hooks up with the chicks. You know,
with the chicks, learns piano,
piano and shit. Like, would you
learns how to sculpt.
Would you do that? Would
Okay,
you learn?
there's a question for you. If you knew that you were going to loop the same day over and over, what would you do?
Oh man.
And
Infinitely,
also,
or
Infinitely, knowing that what you stole, who you killed, anything you did would be reset
but it's
the
an
next
infinite
day.
loop. Never stops.
See, I think that would just kind of piss me off.
Here's the thing.
'cause, like,
You don't know it's an infinite loop. It could be a 5-time thing. It could be a 10-time thing.
Well,
but you don't know.
I would. So we're talking about.
So what would you
We're talking
do?
about the Groundhog effect. If you had the Groundhog Day effect,
But if you had the possibility of repercussions tomorrow, or the possibility of it restarting, you don't know. That's the problem with the groundhog.
I'd be
yeah,
productive
you don't
with
know
it,
if this is
but
the
after
last time
like
or not.
30 or 40 times, if it kept looping, I'd probably just force it to stop.
How would you do that?
He
then?
tried.
Shoot myself.
He
Yeah,
tried,
but
remember?
he in Groundhog Day, he tried killing himself several times, and he just kept waking up the next
kept waking
day.
up.
Right.
That sounds like hell. Like that would be so
And
horrible.
you said looping, so it makes me think of Looper, and then it makes me think of killing him, going to the future to find your future self, and then killing yourself
Stop
in front
it
of
from
him
happening in the
to
first
stop
time.
something he's doing, which wouldn't.
I would put that up there with
Oh no, wait, no, he's
immortality.
thinking. Like I see Matt's head
The
finally. Like,
entire events of that entire thing would not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing that they did in a certain show that I watched.
well, sure.
What
the
show
very-
is that?
Flash. At the very end.
did you mean to say
Oh,
smash
yeah.
or was it
You
We could-
can say it.
smash?
No, I just didn't want to ruin it for people who are going to watch it. For instance, Brooks here might be watching it.
Hey,
very soon.
for those of you that aren't caught up, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
But when they,
See,
but,
you know
but
that-
when, but when Eddie shot himself, got rid of Thal.
But I mean, I'd put
Well,
that right
the
there in that special
problem-
place of hell, like immortality. I don't want that.
The problem with the whole shooting himself and getting rid of Eobard in the future and this and that is that's DC. Nobody's ever dead in DC.
Well,
Nope, they changed the game with Death of Superman.
And
Ever since that,
there's going to be multiverses.
yeah, I mean, you already see Thal confirmed for the second season because of Jake Garrick's world.
Right. So, what we're going to actually see of that, I don't know. But yeah, to say that him shooting himself kept dude from being born in the future, Eobard from being born in the future, and then coming back and creating any of that, he's then eliminated the need for him to have shot himself.
exactly. I have so many issues with that.
Right. So, and really, they just eliminated the Flash. No more season 2. Sorry.
I will say though that when you mentioned Looper, that was probably my favorite thing about about the movie was whenever the older came inside and stuff like that, they just captured the.
Came inside.
I also have problems with
Yeah,
that.
are we not
Came
doing
inside
phrasing anymore?
like-
Have we stopped phrasing? Is that?
We're not doing
Is it
phrasing
we're not
anymore?
doing phrasing anymore.
See, I have issues with that movie for like the same reasons. Looper, I liked it. It was an entertaining movie.
Right.
But like that scene where they're trying to catch that old man,
Mm-hmm.
and then so they get his younger self and they carve, go to this address, and then they start cutting his legs off.
Now
And, like, all
the
these
the
different
scars
things.
was a clever thing.
The scars was clever, but once they started doing all that other stuff, like cutting
Yeah.
off all his arms,
And
his
then-
fingers, his nose,
Then you're going too far.
and you're going way too far
'Cause
like
he-
that stretch, because that would mean that he had gone his entire life
Right.
just like that, and he wouldn't have been able to come back in the first place
Right.
to have it. Just
Yeah, well,
you
they,
lose
they,
me
they
when
lost
you
me
do
on
stuff
that.
like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, I know. Let's go back real quick because I just thought of it. I know I've referenced Paycheck a lot, but I'm not going to do that this time.
But you
But
just
like that though, Minority Report, where they use the looking into the future
Yeah.
to stop murders, and it actually worked versus them it not working and things like that. So those are two different styles of looking at seeing into the future. Is that
The problem is they're going off intent on that. And I can tell you, just out of fits of
sucks.
rage, I've probably had the intent to do horrible things
Yeah.
to people.
yeah? But hey, I mean, but
But
like,
who hasn't thought of those things and thought, I'll kill you, and then no, I won't actually.
Yeah.
no, but in the Minority Report, it actually plays out. It actually shows them actually committing
Well,
murder.
no. See,
You haven't
the
committed it.
vision
It's
plays out. And you
premeditated,
see, like,
right?
Matt, like, I would see Matt murder some girl or whatever, right?
But they were
That
able
doesn't
to
mean
stop
it happened.
They were
It's
able to
just-
stop premeditating.
Yes,
murder,
it's
right?
a possible future.
Well,
And you can't, and the thing that I didn't like about Minority Report is, like, they actually arrest people based off of, like, the intent.
Right.
Like, Matt might not necessarily do that. Like, he hasn't done anything wrong, so why would you lock him up?
Yeah.
Versus
Kevin would.
just, stopping whatever from happening in the first place. Like,
Here's
We'd
what
all
I
be
hate.
sitting in cells based off the stuff we've said over
exactly.
in anywhere.
Here's what I want to know about Minority
It's like
Report.
all-
Why-
We have no idea what you're talking about, Santee.
Yeah, whatever.
Just play one good round of Call of Duty and boom.
We'll go
Well,
listen
for
to
you're
some
gonna
you,
go to
for you, in anyways, after you
Okay.
break your controller in
I
half,
was
they
about to say,
just gonna
one
arrest
good
you.
round of Call of Duty, Chris will have to go through like 30 bad rounds and probably break half his shit in his house.
So the
That's the
problem,
only thing he's guilty of is breaking equipment.
the problem with
We're
Minority
gonna arrest
Report
you.
is they had one vision with it. They saw the vision, they went and arrested the person. That's it. Why didn't they just go to the victim and say, "You should probably not go to work today," or "Why don't you go on vacation for a week?"
And see, that's what I'm saying.
Let this
Just
dude chill
prevent-
out for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, change the circumstance.
Right.
What was the? I think there was another like Sing into the Future kind of thing. I think it was a Nicolas Cage movie.
Knowing,
Was
Yeah.
it? No, Next.
He had
I think
two.
it's
He
called-
had two
Oh,
of them
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
didn't he? Didn't he have two of them?
I don't know.
No, it's called
Wait.
Next. Where
He had one where he was like a
he was
musician or whatever,
He was
right?
a precog. A magician? Yeah, he was a precog. Like, he could see so many seconds into the future and, like, replay.
Oh yeah,
Replay,
yeah.
So, like, he could play
He could go up to like 2
poker
minutes.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd go up to 2 minutes. He'd play through it in his head and see it all playing out and be like, oh, well, this guy's got that. This
So I
guy's
can
got that,
change
they got
this.
that. Then he would rewind back and be like, okay, you don't win.
So he could see into the future to change. He could. It was only his future, right?
Yes, only his future.
And he could see.
Well,
Because I remember the one thing about that movie, he kept going to the diner, or he was at the diner and he was trying to hit on the chick, and he kept replaying out what would happen, like he
Yeah.
fought the boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, like just
oh, that's right, because they showed multiple versions of it.
Yeah,
It was-
he just kept going over and over and
he played the
over.
different scenarios.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing too. You have so you can see 2 minutes into the future, right?
Uh-huh.
With that, let's see that concept, right? So you can see 2 minutes in the future.
Oh.
They played like 7 different scenarios, so that ate up your 2 minutes of looking into the future. So now you're having to look further.
Well,
into
why
the
can't you
future.
see the infinite
Yeah.
scenarios of those 2 minutes?
So you're having to process that all in your head at the same time.
I mean, technically, they say your brain can only focus on one
It's like think of it like
task at any given time, but
think of it like being able to see all different ways to complete a maze. like, I turn left here, that's a dead end. So next time I have to turn right, and so on and so on and so on. That's how that is, but you see it like all at once.
But then you have his other movie, Knowing, where he finds that list
See, there were two
that's
movies.
that like predicts everything.
that was where he was like a mathematician or something like that, and they found that code. Yeah, that was a true movie.
Nostradamus effect.
Yeah.
Right, but that also leads into, our path is written.
Well, it also
Exactly.
falls into you know about it, you're trying to do something about it, so you're making it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
There's two
because
different.
he knew about it and that plane crashed anyways with that particular number of people. Was it his job to make the next thing happen?
Well, it's just like the series of actions they took up to that. It just led to it. You know?
But yeah, I guess that goes back into the do things happen because you know they're going to happen, or do they happen just because they're going to happen?
That's a good point.
Very good. That's the
But-
kind of stuff that we can't comprehend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
So let's
And
get
it's
back to
better that
actual
way.
time travel, and let's stop tippy-toeing around the subjects, and let's get to the real stuff.
all right,
Oh.
what you got, bro?
Oh.
I'm tired of this.
Okay.
Wow. Hot tub time machine.
Oh,
There it is.
I actually mentioned that.
the Chernobyl.
Set it up, and then hot tub time machine. So it's the fixed. They go back in time and they change stuff.
Okay, now here's the problem with Hot Tub Time Machine. They didn't go back in time. They went back into their former selves.
Exactly. Their consciousness goes back. Yeah.
But they are their current consciousness
In
in their
old bodies.
old selves.
Which is the only type
So
I
is
think
that
would
considered-
ever be possible if it could be done.
So like
would be
Days of
seeing your
Future, it's
consciousness
like
back.
X-Men Days of Future Past. Like you're saying, like that's not technically time travel,
well,
but it is.
the problem with Days of Future Past is, I guess I get the whole, like send it back, and then as soon as you're done, it automatically comes back. So I guess they kind of explain that there. But like with Hot Tub Time Machine, there was the time machine in both places, so that kind of works.
Well, no, like okay, so like X-Men Days of Future Past. So she sends Wolverine back, and he has his little flip out thing, and he does it on his body. Like he flips out his body and cuts her side.
How's he doing?
Me,
Dinosaur hands.
I'm
T-Rex hands.
Wolverine.
I'm gonna get you. But no, like so he's not technically time traveling, but he is. Like how? What sense does that make? Like he's like his consciousness is time traveling, but he actually goes back in the past, but his body's still in the future.
Yeah, it's his
But then it goes through, but-
yeah.
Well, and I guess what I want to know with that is, would that be like a multiple schizophrenia? Is that what schizophrenia is? Does time travel exist, and we just think it's a mental disorder? Oh my God!
Let's hope not.
I just had an epiphany.
Let's hope not.
All right, so we're no longer Bush League Geek. Welcome to Conspiracy Theorist Live.
But no, seriously, if someone were to have their consciousness sent back from the future, it would have to conflict with their current consciousness.
You know what? And now this turns into a possible like.
Hold on, Chris has words.
Oh,
Let
words.
Chris speak.
I mean, I would think it would mess with your current consciousness because of the fact that you're getting so much data put in your brain at one time. I don't even see how you would be able to stay alive.
Like, I feel like if your consciousness was sent back from the future, like if you just lived 30 years and then threw it back into your brain, you just start bleeding from every
Well,
orifice.
yeah.
Butterfly
That's a good
effect.
point.
Every time they'd make that brain crunching noise or whatever, and his
or
nose
he
would
would
bleed.
catch
Because
up.
his
and it will-
entire
And his
life
nose would bleed and
changed.
stuff, yeah.
Because every time you learn something, I don't know if it's true, that we don't need any, like, brain surgeons going, that's not true. But they say, every time
You
you,
don't
learn
want a
something.
medical opinion on this?
I don't want a medical opinion. I don't care. But they say that whole, every time you learn something, you get a new wrinkle in your brain, whatever. So, if your brain is how it is because of the life that you've lived, all of a sudden, all that knowledge is just rammed in there. And you just know everything from the next 30 years. How...
I would actually picture it more like Chuck with the intersect. Like only a certain type of person can actually do it, and you have to be able to control it and fix it, because if not, then your brain is just going to overheat with all this data. Because every single time he flashed,
So that's why they used Wolverine.
yeah,
Self-healing. Can
because
compensate.
every single
Oh, yeah, good call. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
every single time Chuck flashed, his brain would go through so much data at a ridiculous speed that he started forgetting stuff.
Like just now, I forgot that's why they used Wolverine.
No,
Are
I
you
don't know that
talking
they
about
ever. I don't know that they ever said that's why they used.
No, they did.
No, yeah.
Because he asked
They-
why can't Professor
I had
Xavier go
forgotten that
through
as
it,
well.
and he said,
They kind of they make a
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, they
Xavier
they
wouldn't
made
be able to handle it.
Has anyone seen the Rogue version?
I haven't seen it yet.
The Rogue cut?
Apparently they have a
There's a road
Yeah,
cut. Yeah,
there's
I
a-
haven't seen it yet.
They're releasing that right now, and it's already started kind of shipping out since my work is Fox.
Yeah,
What is it
I've
now?
heard of it. I just don't know what's
It's
different.
Days of Future Past Road Cut, which is I want to say an extra 30 minutes of footage.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
but
Because
that-
they took a
the
'cause
pictures.
Rogue.
The
that's right,
pictures
'cause they
have
took Rogue
Rogue
out.
holding his
Okay.
head instead of Kitty.
Okay.
"No, what sense does that make, though?"
It didn't really make sense that Kitty Pryde could do that in the first place.
I think.
I mean, so she was the one that was closest to doing that on the good guy side, right? Other than
I would
Xavier.
think if anybody, if you want to do it that type of way, I would say Xavier discovers.
Exactly.
Xavier
Xavier would be the
Kitty
only one else that
Pryde,
could-
like,
Yeah, I mean,
it just makes no sense. Like, she can phase through matter. Like,
But is it through like
I don't know.
what like
There's a lot of science behind it.
because
it's that comic
There's
science.
a lot of
There's a lot
science.
of comic science.
Well, if
yeah.
you want doesn't make any sense, and we'll go completely random. How in the world in Futurama is Fry's own grandfather?
Oh, you didn't see that episode?
work? No, I've seen that episode, but how does that not make the universe
Sleeps
implode?
with his grandma.
How does that not make the
Very
universe
funny.
explode?
I mean,
But no, let's.
making babies is making babies.
I mean, Grandma looking pretty good.
You need to go to timeout.
but yeah, how is he
I mean,
born if he's?
How does the universe work that out? And obviously, the professor says he doesn't care if the universe
I
doesn't
mean,
care, but
we do live in Alabama, so I mean, there should be some sort of
You're not helping us, buddy.
Understanding.
You're not helping us.
Yeah, we're trying to promote ourselves and go out there.
Right?
sometimes we
think.
sometimes
Just
we
go
have
on
to
thinking
play.
we's rednecks. It's fine. We
I
done-
was told once there's Alabama, and then there's Huntsville, and it's not the same place.
Yeah,
we
it's
are in.
not.
We're on the outskirts of Huntsville.
Yeah, it's true. That, I mean, as much as that, but we're not going to get into the wolf. That might be a different podcast. We might go to another show for that one.
Are you a redneck? Well,
Well.
if you knew what I did this weekend, you might say so.
Sorry.
Not really.
So,
Too
what was I
political.
saying back to? So Kitty, right?
Yeah.
She can go through matter,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. In Ant-Man, didn't they say that? I mean, I hate to be the show of spoiler alerts, but in the movie, he
Yeah. Okay.
You know, he
let's
went
talk
through the
about
matter.
that.
and he got stuck, or the wasp got stuck going through time and stuff, and
Yes, because he shrinks down to a subatomic
To a
Yes.
level where time and space don't matter.
They don't
Yeah,
matter.
he's,
But if
he's,
she can
he's shrinking
transfer-
himself to the point where he's actually becoming smaller than an atom. And so he's pretty much erasing himself from the world.
but if she can transfer through stuff, is it too far of a stretch?
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
Answer that.
I
Pretty
don't,
big
like I
stretch.
said, that's why I was saying there's a lot of science behind that. I don't want to.
We don't have
into,
pin
'cause I don't
particles, so
know.
we're good.
Do we need to break out, do we need to break out beakers and Bunsen burners and stuff?
Yes, we do.
To
I need
figure
a
out the science of time travel.
You don't worry about
I
it.
don't think that's how.
You don't know.
I don't think Batman's ever going to throw down a little ball of smoke and it's going to go, oh god, I time traveled because of the chemicals. in
You
it.
don't know that. Maybe I just want to burn some shit and see what happens. It's time travel.
No.
So let's go with some other movies that are claimed as time travel. Like
Let's
Donnie
talk,
Darko.
let's talk about the Ant-Man thing real quick.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, when you go to something that small, all right, is time and space and all that good stuff irrelevant because you're so small?
Yes.
Because if why?
Real quick, yes.
But why?
You know, I was trying to think the same thing because that's something that I was actually thinking about. Like, I know we've all seen stuff like Futurama, for example. They've had episodes where they have these tiny little universes, and it's like you start it, and here they go, and then they evolve.
Universe in
and
the
next thing
box.
you know, they've had like entire generations and stuff. But for us, it's only like like maybe an hour's gone by.
Right.
But for them, they've had their entire existence.
Hyperbolic times.
And it's really a difficult thing to talk about because it's like, what if it's like that for us? Because there's infinite universes out there, right?
Right.
And some universes are smaller than others. Like in Men in Black, for example, there's an entire universe like on this little cat's keychain, right? So like, what if our universe is so small that it's like for us, like this time's going by, but like for all we know, like our universe could be like a second old.
It could
You
be
know, as far as like some larger entity's perspective goes.
kind of like Doctor. No, is it not Doctor Horton? The Who.
Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
Here's a Who.
Horton
Yeah.
Hears a Who.
Where on that just little planet.
Yeah, but
It's
it
a
just made me
whole-
think like the whole subatomic thing. Like maybe if for some reason the smaller down something is, you know, like the
Well, and is
time
it-
just progresses differently.
Well, if you
Because
think
it's
about
so
it, I guess if you think
fast.
about atomic particles and the speed that they move at, they move at speeds that we can't even comprehend. And if you were to go down to that size and move at that speed, I guess if you were to say that time were moving at that faster speed as well, but it's not relevant to our own time,
Mhm.
so then you're talking about speeding up time as you're going smaller.
Yeah.
Well, and that makes sense because if you look at our solar system. Let's not go so small. Every planet has a different length day
Mm-hmm.
based off its size and rotation. But if you were to fix all of those to the same time compression, our days would be faster than Jupiter's days.
So
So
it
the
doesn't
smaller you
necessarily
get.
mean you would age faster on those planets.
No. Well,
Yeah. See.
no.
Or would you?
I wouldn't say that's it. Mm.
If we go into space and we're not rotating on shit, do we just stop aging?
Yeah. What happened if
We
what
found
would happen?
Parthenia's Fountain of Youth.
Our
What would
concept
happen
of time
if,
would change if we weren't rotating.
Well, you know,
around the sun.
time is
Well-
a human.
Yeah, I mean,
What would
creative
happen if
thing.
the Earth started rotating in the other direction
Well,
We'd all
Superman
fall
figured
off.
that out for us,
and went back in time?
and he went back in time. Totally.
there's actually I have a book.
Kind of like
that you need
Superman,
to
how he
read.
just flies so fast. that he,
Doug. Chris Pine.
Everyone listening, please, we just want everyone to know what just happened. Fucking historic event. Chris, please tell me you realize what you just did.
no. That makes it even better.
That just happened.
Bro, they just said Superman proved that for us by going back in time. And
really?
you said, alright.
Well, because I had some stuff going on in my mind. Anyways, what I actually wanted to say though is I feel like with Ant-Man, when he what is it called, superatomic?
Subatomic.
Subatomic. Well, he just kept going. He kept shrinking to the point where he became nothing.
Well, he was
No,
That's the
really?
reason why he was
still
trying.
something.
Exactly. He was
just
he was
so
something,
small
but
that we
technically
couldn't comprehend.
yeah.
Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's nothing.
First basic law of physics. Matter
So let's-
cannot be
Subatomic
created
particles
or destroyed.
or destroyed.
So let's go to a movie like Donnie Darko.
Let's not.
No.
Just being a
It
dick.
was a messed up movie, I grant you
I
that.
don't know why we're ignoring the classic time travel movies from all of our past, except maybe Chris because he's not old enough.
What are you talking about?
Back to the Future.
Oh.
We're going to save that for the end.
When time travel wasn't so serious.
Why
Is it serious now?
So serious.
It's serious enough that we're talking about it for the last hour.
I think we're talking about it just because we wanted something to talk about.
It's-
I like talking.
I think we created a podcast because we just like talking.
We just like, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, you want to go with newer stuff, like Back to the Future, whatever.
Well, okay. So, say you want to talk about say you want to talk about Donnie Darko. What do you feel like happened in Donnie Darko?
I feel it was like a multiverse kind of thing.
Do you?
Do you think it was a multiverse, or do you think it was a set timeline that he escaped somehow that was pulling him back in to the way things are supposed to be?
Things that make you go.
think my mind just got blown. No. Cause see, at first, like when we started talking about doing this and stuff, like I looked at it, I didn't necessarily consider that as a, I guess because I was so focused on how fucked up of a movie it was, I didn't really focus on it being a time travel movie. So I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you.
What else?
Well, the figure of the rabbit, was it Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Draws him out of the house when that jet engine just falls. So,
but then Frank was a kid that was
ran over by a car.
By a car.
Yeah, from the future.
So that's why I never thought. I just thought it was like a fucked up thing. I never thought it was like a movie, like a time travel movie. But it's considered a time travel movie. That's why I was kind of like, I don't get that, and want to talk about it with people that possibly could get that.
Well,
I feel like we would all have to sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
let's do that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch it because
I'd have to watch it in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, you've never seen it?
What?
It's a pretty good movie.
If I have, I don't remember seeing it.
That's the problem.
It's a cool classic. Full show.
That's another one we ran across that we could have talked about too. Edge of Tomorrow.
That's like a Groundhog Day scenario.
Like a Groundhog Day scenario kind of thing? Yeah, exactly.
I liked Edge of Tomorrow.
He used
It's
it
very
to
entertaining.
Live
Yeah.
repeat.
use that
Live,
ability
die,
to
repeat.
find out.
Yeah.
So we got that. Okay, so since we're kind of coming up on the end of the show, let's go with what created all this in the first place. Back to the Future and stuff like that when we were, like I said, when we were growing
Before he
up and
was
stuff.
born,
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Chris don't know nothing about. Superman.
Hey, Chris, I know this was like before you were born, but in Superman, he goes
He turns
around
Earth
the
backwards.
world
I know.
backwards. Goes back in time to save Lois.
Does it ever stop at any point, or does it just start spinning the other
I
way?
think
Okay,
he slows it down.
Here's
right?
what I want to know. So the Earth is spinning, right? It's not like somebody went "Whew," like a top, and it's not stopped. This is So if he went backwards to take us back in time,
You know what would happen?
did
Everybody would fly off the planet.
right?
Like, he would have killed
I've got
everybody in the
everyone.
world.
I've got something to
But
read.
here's the thing. Did he set things back in motion?
Yeah. He goes around it like a million times.
But he slows
And then
down,
after it starts spinning, I think he goes back and gets it spinning the right direction again. Yeah.
Because it's been so long since I've seen that I couldn't remember
Yeah,
if he
no
did that part.
consequences
I feel like if they had left
No
that out,
consequences
at all.
if they had left that out, we would all just be back into. What? Okay.
Somebody should
Here's-
recreate that. on
Here's
YouTube.
something to think about for time travel. If time travel works linear, like that, you know how you basically, like say the world were to go back in time 10 years. Do you then ungrow? Like
start shrinking.
right?
Like
do you
that.
turn into a
Like
baby?
Benjamin Button.
Do you turn
kinda.
into a fetus? Are you then sucked back up? Oh, that's
Oh, no, I'm talking about that.
On that note, I think
Why?
you may have gone too far.
You get sucked back up.
We want to thank everybody for listening to the last show that we were. I think you just killed it. Oh, Lord. We want to leave everybody with a good mental image for the rest of the week. So we want to thank everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let us know through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all Bush League Geek at whatever you want to use, Facebook, Twitter.
or Bush League. That's fun.
No. Bush League Geek. Make sure it is Bush League Geek. Just so everyone knows. Email us, bushleaguegeek@gmail.com. And until the next time, see y'all.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.